Welcome. Happy Saturday, or Sunday for those of you like Girl Wonder across the world. Let's see what I'm gonna do for some music here. Let's see. Let me get some stuff here. Let's see. I'm gonna do some. Oh, we're not doing tech support. What is good? We're doing after hours. Bam. There we go. Nah, this is too upbeat. Let's see here. It's a little bit. Let me see here. Let me try this lounge music. Here we go. There we go. Now we're talking. What's going on? Happy weekend. Moonbeam after hours. I'm just stopping by to say hi. Figured I'd hang here for a little bit before I play some Dota 2 tonight. And I'm going to make an old fashioned. So if you know what an old fashioned is in chat, let me know. If you've had them, if you like them. I see Cloud Surfer there. Yeah, you might want an old fashioned, don't you? I would deliver. It would just be a little bit melted by the time it gets there. So, for those who don't know what an old fashioned is, it's a very simple cocktail. It's one of my favorite. It is my favorite. What's up, Matt? What's going on? Why don't you come over on Moonbeam? Come over from Facebook. Hang out on Moonbeam, man. We're going to be using Whistle Pig small batch rye, 10-year. This is a pretty good. This is the first time I've had this specific Whistle Pig type. They have a 6-year, which is cheaper, and I actually prefer that. Yes, I am, Michael in chat. I am. This would be 1080p. I think I'm at 30 frames per second right now. I'm not using OBS. I'm using Restream. So if I had a more powerful setup, which I'm going to be getting soon, I could bump it up to 60 frames per second and then like an 8-bit rate, which would be even sharper than this. So this isn't as sharp as we can go or as clear as we can go. It's simple enough. It's good enough for what I'm doing. But yeah, so Whistle Pig small batch. This one here, it's got a little bit of a bite to it. Pretty expensive bottle for what it is. It's 100 proof, so 50% alcohol. But if you like rye, it's not bad. I prefer the Angel's Envy rye, if anybody's had Angel's Envy. But ryes tend to have like that sharp, like a bite at the end of it, you know? A little bit of a smoky kind of flavor to it. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. Let's see here. And so anyway, what's special about this old-fashioned night, when I was in Pittsburgh meeting with Pat and the team right before open beta, we went to a restaurant. I forget the name of it, but it was a pretty nice place. It was like a little downtown area. They had like a little place outside where there's like fire pits and stuff. And they had a Whistle Pig old-fashioned with maple syrup. So for those who don't know, old fashioned is normally bourbon with simple syrup or a sugar cube and muddled or something like that. If you want to muddle the sugar cube or simple syrup, you just want to mix it. And then bitters. Usually you could do regular bitters or citrus bitters. You could kind of find different flavored bitters and kind of tweak your drink that way. But Whistle Pig, I did not know this until I had it at the restaurant. They have their own maple syrup that they make. So this is maple syrup, and I'm going to make a Whistle Pig old fashioned with Whistle Pig maple syrup. And it is delicious. It is so good. It is like candy. It's awesome. Hey, Bob West. Welcome. Yeah, I'm excited to see what you all do with the realms that are coming out. We have a lot of new realms coming out there. So we got the Whistle Pig. So again, here's the ingredients. Whistle Pig, small batch rye, Whistle Pig maple syrup. And we're going to mix it with just some simple bitters and a block of ice. Simple. So, yeah, I loved, speaking of realms, I really enjoyed this week going through the realm request form. We're up to, I want to see how many we have now. because we were up past 40. We're at 48 right now. Nice. We're at 46 earlier today, so we still got a few in. Yeah, so we got a lot of realm requests in. And what I realized is people are just amazing. Like the community builders, the realm owner folks, like a lot of you are out there, like your experiences are really awesome, inspiring, and exciting. And then the ideas were really cool to read, like the different ideas for realms and what kind of communities you want to foster. And it's super neat because when you think about it, I don't know if any platform has ever really like asked that of anyone or sought that type of person, especially like a live streaming platform, right? It's always like the streamer, and there's a completely different skill set associated with both of those things. So it was really neat to just see that. Like, I feel like there's something special about that. It's cool. So I'm gonna mix. So I do like my drink strong. I'm gonna do 3 shots of the Whistle Pig, and then we'll do 1 shot of the maple syrup, and we're gonna mix it. So again, small batch. Just gonna do this. So I like to enjoy in moderation a good cocktail, but again, my go-to is bourbon and old fashions. I probably have an old fashioned, every night or every other night. My go-to bourbon is I like Angel's Envy a lot. For those of you who've had that, I've also like Horse Soldier. Girl Wonder. Let's see here. Working on getting community transferred over. Recruit. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work. And yeah, Bob. That's the thing, right? Like the community builders. I want us to think about this for a second, right? And it's an interesting just observation, but I think it's warranted. When you look at like Discord and Reddit, that's really where like communities kind of live. If you're looking at like a community-based platform, Facebook has like Facebook groups. Some of them live there too. But you have groups that are overwhelmingly, have thousands of people in them. Some of them have millions. I know like the live stream fail community on Reddit, they have like 1.8 million. I've spoken to some of their moderators there, right? That's insane. Like 1.8 million people in a community. And then these moderators and those people who are like the backbone of building that up, curating it. When I made Adventures for Dungeons and Dragons, there was Discord servers with hundreds of creatives. And then these moderators would moderate that. It was all free labor. It was like they volunteered their time, their mental health, because that stuff gets stressful. Like moderating community can get very stressful really fast. And in tabletop, we see this all the time. There's a lot of drama. Sometimes there's drama in any community, but that takes like a tax on the people running the community. And it just blew my mind that there's nowhere that those folks can live on like a platform and like benefit from the work they do, right? There's no way to like, hey, on Reddit, I'm going to, pay the moderators of the Reddit subreddit or something, or on Discord, I'm going to pay the Discord server kind of mod. It doesn't happen. So it's just like, it was an interesting like observation of like, wow, these people that do so much, and they do so much for the platforms themselves that they're on, like, they do a lot. They're bringing a lot of people there. They're making a good experience. And there's just nothing for them. They don't get credit. Like there's no like award show for, hey, the subreddit mod awards or the Discord community leader, awards or stuff. But and streamers get a lot of that, right? They get a lot of the accolades. Hey, what's up? No skills? Yeah. No, I appreciate it, Girl Wonder. Thank you. And Cloud Surfer, yeah. Any names? And concepts. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to add here 3 shots of the Whistle Pig, right? That's the 3 shots. And then we got the Whistle Pig maple syrup. It's a little thick. So on my first time making this, I did it a little bit. I had to learn. It was a learning process. So maple syrup is sweet. It's nice. That's what offsets the rye. Takes away the harshness. So you have to really mix it well because it has to dissolve. So you got to mix the maple syrup into the bourbon, just so it can dissolve and kind of blend in together. It's more viscous and thick than like your simple syrup. So I'm just mixing that here. Let's see, there we go. Mixing it up, letting it dissolve, all blend together. Okay, so there we go. I think we're almost there. Yeah, that's good. And now, a few dashes of the bitters. All right, so we're at 3 shots to 1 shot of maple syrup. So 3 bourbon, 1 maple syrup, and then a few dashes of bitters. There we go. If you wanted to get all fancy, you could get a citrus peel and put it in there. You know, I do that every once in a while. I also have a smoker for smoked old fashions. I'm not a super fan of that. It's a little bit much work. And then I'm going to add my ice block. Whoop, block of ice. There we go. Settling it in so it doesn't splash on me. All right. I'll show the camera here now. 1 second. There we go. Cheers, everybody. Happy Saturday, Sunday, happy weekend, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out with me a little bit. Let's see here. Yeah, so do you want to keep my name and concept in the wraps until I can recruit the build? Should I send you an NDA? Yeah, no. That one will keep all you, Bob. Cheers. You know? And thanks, Bob. You know, I appreciate you joining Moonbeam. You know, it's cool to run into folks that have also made a lot of people's lives very joyous. And you've done that with, you know, your work as Barney. And I remember my cousins were really into Barney. I was a little bit too old at the time, just coming out of that. But my younger sister and my cousins loved it. And so I remember every time I was, when they're around together, they would be watching it on TV and you'd hear the song and everything like that. So it's great. Hey, no skills. So you see here. You prefer whiskey with a lager chaser. Oh, interesting. What whiskey do you like? I'll put in chat here. Okay, so Whistle Pig, maple syrup, old fashioned, 3x shots, Whistle Pig, bourbon, shot, Whistle Pig, maple syrup. Yeah. Girl Wonder. Yeah, we're in the midst of you know who, the Purple Dinosaur. For those who don't know, yes, that Bob West is in fact that Bob West of Barney. Many of you may have grown up with Barney. Here we go. Recipe in chat. So let's see. Yeah, I'm cheap. I'll go old granddad. No skills. That's funny. Yeah. Back to Cloud Surfer, your question. There were some interesting ones. So there's a few that were, the realms are interesting because they're more niche. They're more like unique, right? Like it's super cool to see like how we're building this ecosystem where you have a public realm that is geared towards a big broad topic. And then you have realms that are more like personalized. Because I almost see like a realm as like a restaurant. If I'm thinking of like a restaurant or a coffee shop, it's like not the chain. It's like the mom and pop. It's very specific. It's got cool stuff. It's like it's more niche. The public realm ideas are broader, so they're more like your chain kind of vibe. Like it's good, but it's just very broad. And so it's neat to see that dynamic but that's what we want. Like that's how it should be, right? Where the public realm is a catch-all, and then as we build out feature sets on Moonbeam and stuff, you know, it'll be neat to see if we affiliate the realms, kind of link them, so that the public realms feed the realms. But some of them that I thought were neat, public realm wise, there's just some neat ones. Like there's art that's coming out, that folks put in art and crafts. There's like a geek kind of collectibles kind of one that was really cool. There's one, the tech support. Yo, skills. I was going to reach out to you. You and Captivator have similar things you propose, like tech support / streaming. So I'm going to reach out a little bit, like I said, on like Monday to see if maybe you all want to work together, or if you wanted separate things. But I think that's amazing. Like the tech support / streaming, like I could see a hub, and I think that's one of the most exciting ones, is a hub on Moonbeam for streamers and tech to like collaborate, work, and figure stuff out. And that's just really neat. I don't know, something cool about that. So, Bob, yeah, we'll have open stuff for public realms. It's not going to be closed off, but I think, getting a realm first and playing around with it, the public realms are a lot less built out. Like Pat has just kind of worked bare bones for public realms. So what I'm telling everybody is, my recommendation is we're going to have a few public realms initially, and we're going to really refine the feature set on those. And see how they work. And we're going to be doing experiments with the front page to try to find out how do we drive foot traffic and discoverability to realms. And so I think it's not a bad thing to wait and then get things refined. And then, once the feature set's more robust, once we figure out stuff too, once people play around with a normal realm and kind of get the feeling of that, if they want to open up a public realm, they can. I think that's really good. No, and Cloud Surfer, so stuff about overlapping on a regular realm, like I don't think we're concerned with that. So it shouldn't be seen as competition. And the reason is we're going to be working on, Pat right now, today, has been working on multi-realm streaming. It's very important. It's going to start off where someone can multi-realm stream. The first iteration of it is going to be they stream into a public realm and they can stream into one realm. But we're going to expand the realm part of that equation. I don't think we're going to expand the public realm part initially, because we do want people to find, like, we want to drive people to realms from a public realm. So I think our thought process right now is like, people can stream into a public realm right away when multi-streaming comes out very soon, because that's the priority that's being worked on. They can stream into a public realm and then a realm. But once we get that down, and we're just doing that to test it, see if it works, the next thing we're going to do is probably open it up to where you still stream to one public realm and then multiple realms. So that way, like you're talking about anomalies, the anomaly zone, right? For example. So let's talk about this, because this is good to talk about. Anomaly's got a public realm. Yeah, he's taking over the VGA, the Video Game Alliance, and he's also got the anomaly zone, a regular realm. But in your case, Cloud Surfer, when you're talking about competition, when we have multi-realm streaming, it's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing. You're going to run your realm a little bit different than the anomaly zone is. All right. You're going to have a different community, different vibe, different thing. But the content, let's say the content might be the same. So we want someone to be a video game streamer and stream in the VGA, public realm. And we want them to stream in the anomaly zone. And we want them to stream in your realm. And that way, the communities you all build around a certain topic, even if it's the same, like video games, there's always like different nuances and differences in those communities and those niches. You're going to be able to share the content. And that's why when you think about how we built out Moonbeam with realms and like content distribution, I see like a realm like, was it TNT? And then the other one's like, Nick at Night. The same show could be on both those channels and they're not competing. And in fact, the audience that likes that kind of show can watch it. And it's better for all involved. The channels, the realm, and then the content being distributed multiple places to different audiences. Let me see. I'm going to look at chat here. Yeah, Pat's working hard this weekend. Yeah, and that's the thing, Michael in chat. Like, we want realms to we want these networks to evolve where realms are kind of connected in that way. To me, that is the win. If you think about it, the problem is like with a lot of platforms, they isolate content from distribution. Again, you think about discoverability, right? Discoverability in and of itself is an instance of one. Like if you go on Twitch or any other live stream platform or YouTube, an individual has to find where a stream is at. There's only one place it is. But if you think about Moonbeam's approach, that stream could be in 10 different places. There's a multiplier on like where your content is distributed, which is, I think, helps discoverability. It's like why multi-streaming is great, right? So I got folks, hey, everybody out there on YouTube and Twitch. I see you all there. So there's folks on YouTube and Twitch watching this stream right now. But if I was only distributing it in one place, you know, those numbers would not be there. Let's see here. Yeah. So it came out nice. It's very smooth. It's got a sweet taste from the maple syrup. Really brings down the bite. It's nice and chill. I'm trying to get one of my buddies to come on here. See, if anybody wants, you can ask me a question. I'm going to do what I did last time. I'm going to drop a link where if you want to come on audio, you could, by all means, do that. Click on that link right there. You'll come into Restream. I'll put you on audio only. You can ask a question. You could say something if you want. If not, no big deal. I think it's cool that I think that's a cool, I don't know. It reminds me of the old radio days. I joke about that, but I think it's neat, you know? Oh yeah, Skills. What are you thinking about? What's your stream, and what old fashioned idea are you thinking about? I'm interested. Girl Wonders, see here. Realms really fit more the idea of my leadership style. I don't see other streamers as competition, but more like members of a network. 100%. 100%. And it's, you know, when we looked at a lot of the streaming culture, content creator culture, there's a lot of competition. That's like, everybody's like, oh, they're cutthroat. It's tough out there. It doesn't need to be. People should be working together, you know? And again, so we'll see how this goes. But a lot of really cool Realm ideas. I'm excited to see it come out. And it's neat because we are at, let me see here. I'm going to go. We're getting real close to 2,000 people signed up on Moonbeam, which is awesome. That's a huge milestone. All organic too. It's wild to think that organic, there's no marketing budget. There's no nothing. We're at 1,975. We're so close to 2,000 people. That's so cool. I can't wait. Like, it's neat to see people joining and coming and having fun. But yeah, one thing we're also working on is like the front page. I want to learn, and you know, drop some ideas in chat if you think about this. But I think one of the issues we ran into is like, how do we find out where stuff's happening in Realms? Right? Like, I can go into Realms manually one by one and try to find them out. But we're trying to like think about the front page and be like, you know, hey, if maybe there's a message or a post made, you know, your realm kind of pops up to the front to some area, like, you know, stuff happening in Realms now kind of thing, where you can see like where the action's at. So we're trying to figure out like, how do we make that happen? How do we make a realm discoverable by what's going on there? I want to know where the activity's at. So it's going to be, thanks, Bob. Yeah, it's going to be cool. But yeah, so we're thinking like, should it be like where people are chatting in a realm? They kind of get filtered up just on like a engage, you know, happening now. People are talking about stuff here. Realm's on fire. I don't know, stuff like that. I'm curious what you all think about that, because it's an interesting thing to think about, and it's part of the problem, like that Discord itself hasn't solved. Is like, it's almost like me saying, hey, go to Discord and try to find out where people are talking about stuff. Like, it's a weird process. You have to like dig around, and you probably find like a link in a Reddit that's like, oh, this Discord. But on Discord itself, it's kind of like hard for discoverable to like find servers where stuff's happening. So that's where our head's at. drop-down menu that allows you to sort and group by realm. Tag, post, chat activity, VOD, all timestamps. Yeah, I think we're just trying. Yeah, I think step one is finding out where things are happening. Whether it's time, but timestamp, like when was a message sent, right? Like we want to differentiate between a realm that's been inactive for a long time and a realm that's like has a lot of people talking about it. I have to check my bar. Hasn't been touched in 11 months. No alcohol drinks while the missus can't drink. That's true. Well, Skills, cheers to that. You're a good man. Making sure you're helping, while the missus is carrying, you're doing your part. I like that. That's nice. And I like your idea too. Mainly gonna be more about you talking, bringing more viewer interaction to your stream while I make free assets for it. Oh, that's nice for your stream tomorrow. That's cool. I like that. That's gonna be cool. Yeah, we have. Trying to think what else we have on the horizon here. That's cool for Moonbeam. Oh, I mentioned audio chat, right? So priority number 1 is multi-realm streaming. Boom, done, happening. Pat is tackling that. That's happening. But audio channels in your realm, and those will exist in realms at first, not public realms, but in realms, there will be audio chat available. It's on the roadmap. I don't know how soon that'll come, but it's feasible. We can do it, and it's something we're looking at implementing. Let's see here. Ooh, let's see here. Bob, you got a cool one to see. I was thinking of a cloud graphical search. Oh, interesting. Subject adjacent realms. Check the avatars connected by the lines. Interesting. That's a cool thing. Yeah, my head goes to like galaxy kind of thing, solar system. I don't know. I mean, Moonbeam's obviously like space, right? But like, I can see like a realm existing in like a solar system connected, or a galaxy. Like you zoom out, it's like here's your realm, and then you zoom out, it's like the solar system, and then a galaxy. I don't know, something cool. But it goes back to your cloud kind of graphical thing. It evokes that in my head. Yeah, Michael, everybody's browsing needs are different. Mm-hmm. This is true. Yeah, art streams to start coming around. Yes, I'm excited to see. There's a lot of artists that are looking for a home. I'm excited for that. So yeah, audio chats will be neat because I think it'll help make our realm feel more engaging. You could chat with people in your realm. And I think it also helps foster community, right? There's something cool about hearing a person's voice and then just like jumping in real quick and talking to them. Something else I'm also probably interested in, just like if you all have opinions on it. We were talking about this on the team, and it goes back to like safety. So right now we have Pixis that is moderating, all the chat and everything like that. Pixis/Moby will also be moderating audio on streams. So right now we do have moderation on streams right now enabled on the platform. And then as Pat continues to work on Pixis and Moby, they'll become very robust on, even in live streams, it will listen to the, it's essentially making a transcript of the audio. So like as I'm talking, there's a transcript being made, and then Pixis and Moby can digest it and then moderate it. And if I said something bad, how there's a slight delay, it could like cut it out or something. So there's that. And then we thought about for our audio chat, we could do that as well. And I'm curious about that. Like that was interesting to me because I don't think there's anywhere on the internet where audio chat is moderated. And the reason for that is because, I don't know. It just seems like it makes everything a lot safer. And there's so many bad actors out there on the internet that, so right now Moonbeam is for 18 and up simply because of like the legalities involved with when you go to when you allow minors on a platform. So we're not there. We don't have the safety features in place required by law to facilitate that, right? But our dream is to be a content for everyone, a platform for everyone, right? And I have 3 young boys. I would rather them use Moonbeam than sometimes on YouTube and even YouTube Kids, like there's stuff in the audio that gets spliced in and like is jarring and not good for kids to watch. And then I think about Discord, like as my kids get older, yeah, they can go on Discord, but what if there's a lot of stuff on this? There's a lot of stories and there's a lot of incidents on Discord and voice chat where things are said that are bad. There's could be grooming, all these things, right? And so I just wonder, like, could Moonbeam be the place where that's safe for everyone? Let's see here. I'm reading the chat again. Girl Wonder, audio channels would be available right now. If we implement them at first, they would be like Discord, like voice channels. Like you could go into like a channel that's for voice. So Bob, yeah, that's the thing, right? With what latency? So it will be instantaneous. When we talk about moderation, there's some interesting ways to think about this. Hey Anomaly, what's up? Welcome, man. Got an old fashioned here. I made a Whistle Pig maple syrup old fashioned. But you could moderate in real time. It would almost be like something said and then there'd be a delay where then it's either cut off or flagged. So we can't really get around someone blurting something in a voice chat. But what we could do is flag and identify bad actors and get rid of them immediately. So it'd be like they could say like a thing that's bad and then gone. So that's the unique thing about when you think about moderation and technology and limitations. It's like, yeah, how do you stop someone? But there's like real stuff out there that's been bad. Like, again, some Discord servers have been used for like for grooming and just like inappropriate conversations between someone who is not consented to be talked to that way, right? Because there's no safety features in place. It's hard to do. But on Moonbeam, we could take that approach and it would stop immediately. So the moment someone's talking that way, it would stop. Again, if the realm, and even if it's not something like that bad, if it was stuff maybe that the realm didn't want in their space, it would stop it as well. So there's like a lot of tools, and again, that goes back to empowering realm owners. Like at the top level, Moonbeam, like we do with Pixis, we would have like what's not allowed legally. So that would be like where you get into like, you've seen this in some platforms where the DMs are used for that kind of stuff. Inappropriate things happen there behind closed doors. So it's interesting. Yeah, Bob, this would be the difference is a voice channel in a realm is not used to broadcast. Like it would not be broadcasting the way my stream is broadcasting to the front page. A voice channel in a realm would be like, hey Bob, let's chat real quick in the channel called, Bob's voice chat. And then you and I would go in there and it would just be you and I, like, or whoever joins that chat channel, like it would be us just talking to each other. So it wouldn't be broadcast. Yeah. Oh yeah, interesting Anomaly. So do it like Roblox does it. Instant hour ban. I like it. See, and the cool thing is, like, if we do that, that's where we're going to empower the realm owners to set all those moderation stuff. So again, Moonbeam will have the basic top level, not allowed. And then we're going to give realm owners the specificity, which is really cool because other platforms can't do that because their moderation. One, what's neat, and I want to like emphasize what's super cool about this. Moonbeam is not just like live streaming community. We've built a proprietary moderation system. And the difference is other platforms use off-the-shelf third-party moderation. So limitations, not tailor-made, all that stuff. So it's really neat to think that we have our own capability built in-house by Pat. So we could really make this like specific to Moonbeam. Other cool thing is we've already been talking to some interested parties that would like to license Pixis for moderation because it's worked so well. Which we talked about early on. The cool thing is like that is one of our revenue streams as a platform, is licensing our moderation technology out as we develop it, which is important because you hear so many people say live streaming platforms, they always fail. They're not profitable. Well, we came out the gate super smart with like multiple revenue streams that are beyond just the broadband kind of cost and revenue structure, and you could all see that. And I think that's like really indicative of like how unique Moonbeam is, and it can scale up. Oh yeah, Cloud Surfer. Let's see here. White Russians. I used to drink White Russians a lot. The Big Lebowski. Who's a Big Lebowski fan? Like the dude abides. The dude abides. I love that. I love that movie. I would be. I would make a lot of those with Kahlua and cream, right? So I'm an old-fashioned fan. I like those. Speaking of movies, I saw the Minecraft movie this weekend. It was good. If anybody, even if you're, if you're just into Minecraft, I don't know. I'm a big Jack Black fan. I loved it. Yeah, Bob. That's it. It's it's one of those things where I think there's a reason why I think moderation is one of the most important things that society can do. And it's not because of, and again, you look at our approach, we figured out a way to walk the line of like, how do we not censor things and allow for free speech, right? And that goes back to our approach to moderation. There's the things that are allowed by law, and there's the things that are immoral and unethical that are not allowed. But where we've come into problems, we see this on a good examples like Twitter right now, X. Elon Musk bought it over. You could see on both sides, Elon Musk is saying, well, when Twitter owned it, they were amplifying these voices politically and then censoring these ones. And then you could see like now he's uplifting these voices over here and they're censoring these voices. It's like, look, that's not good. You can't have that big brother kind of thing going on. You gotta give people the right to choose, right? You gotta keep the bad stuff out. That's not allowed, period. But then you gotta give like people these tools to run their communities and kind of do things their way. I think that's the best approach in a free society. And so I think that's only capable now because of new technology that allows you to get like that specific. Like there was just, the technology didn't exist a couple years ago for a platform like even Facebook and Meta to moderate to that granular detail. And it had a lot of problems. We see that. It resulted in a lot of problems for society. So again, I think moderation is very important from that. Oh, you have Irish creams out from Weston, Missouri? Still, Cloud Surfer? Weston, Missouri is like 15 minutes from where I live. Because I'm in Fort Leavenworth. That's the big prison base. I don't know if you've heard the military. Fort Leavenworth. That's where they put all there is a look. Leavenworth is like literally a prison town. You have the military prison here. That's like the military maximum security prison. It's here. You have a federal prison. You have a state prison. You have a county prison. You have a city prison. It's wild. This is just nuts. Yeah. That's right. I'm surprised you still have it. Good on you. Me and Cloud Surfer know each other. We're buds. Cloud Surfer actually deployed with me on my first deployment to Kuwait and Iraq. Right, Cloud Surfer. Remember those days? That was 2000 and what's it? 2011. 2011. Woof. Time flies. Yeah. So that's cool. Skills for mobile apps. I would like to see an audio option. Listen to streams. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, because some streams are more like a podcast vibe, right? Like, for example, right here, you could just listen to me talk. It doesn't have to. The video is not necessarily like super important. I mean, besides me, my beautiful face right now. I'm kidding. I agree. Like, I'd like to just listen to stuff. Oh, you were in Planet Comic Con? Bob, yeah, that's super cool. So I wasn't at Comic Con because that's when I was right before open beta. I normally go to the Kansas City Comic Con, Planet Comic Con, because Warhammer 40K. I play in a tournament. They usually run a 3-day for the whole convention, like a 3-day Warhammer 40K tournament, and I go to that. I've gone to that the last 2 years. I placed in the top 3 the first time, and then the second time I was like mid bracket. I love Warhammer, but this time I didn't. Oh, it would have been cool. I would have bumped into you. I would have totally stopped by. Yeah, Cloud Surfer, that was your second deployment, and it was my first. And I was a little baby. I was the first lieutenant. So when I came in the Army as a second lieutenant, Cloud Surfer was my executive officer. Funny how that is. Cloud Surfer's unpopular opinion: Kansas City barbecue is only good for the sauce. Ooh. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the sauce. I mean, the brisket. I like the brisket. I'll say that. The Kansas City barbecue brisket's dope. Skills. See, yeah, video always cuts out due to signal dropping while driving. Having an audio only option removes lag and buffering issues. That's true. It'd be dope. And that's one thing we want to, we've talked about is like podcasts on Moonbeam and audio content on Moonbeam. And, for the posts, for example, like I think Michael and Chad, I think you mentioned before, like more robust features for posts to like kind of have that blog element. And we've talked about this, like a way to have people tip you maybe for your post in the future. So like there's so many different types of content we're looking at: audio, blog / post / article writing, right? Where you can get it distributed, you can earn from it and stuff like that. Let me see. I have a Dota 2 match coming up with some buddies. So what's cool about online gaming is like I met a group of folks. They are originally from Yemen, and I met them in 2013. They live in the U.S. now and stuff like that. But we've been playing since like 2013, so over 10 years. And yeah, it's just like you can make friends like online, play regularly. We play with them. They got their cousins, their brothers, stuff like that. And it's neat to kind of see how online gaming has really expanded who you play with. And in the military, I got into D&D a lot because virtual tabletop came out. So in 2015 is when I really started getting into Dungeons and Dragons for the first time ever. And I was able to play with my friends overseas or back home. And if I move a lot, because I moved in my military career, I'm almost at 17 years, and I've moved on average like every 21 months, which is wild. And so I've had to use like virtual tabletops to play. I really couldn't do like in-person groups for long periods of time. So I just love like online community. That's why like online communities are a big deal for me. Is it's been a part of my life of like, that's how I've maintained friendships. That's how I've had friends and enjoyed things, is because of virtual communities has been that. Let's see here. Skills. Let's see here. Always look for features that third parties do for Twitch. And yeah, that's true. Yep. Michael in chat. Next time you come to Pittsburgh, I'll give you and Pat a grand tour. I gave them for the Comics Pro conference. Nice. Skills. Philly's better than Pitts. Ooh. Do I want to answer that? I'll answer that. Is Philly better than Pittsburgh? You know, I've been to Pittsburgh once. I guess I don't have a ton of exposure to it. I was there for a few days. Philly, I love. I love Philadelphia. Something about it. Like the history there. I feel like, I don't know. You got Independence Hall. You got the Liberty Bell. You have the Rocky Steps. You got the City Hall. I am a big Philly fan. And then you got the Philly cheesesteaks, right? I love it. Cloud Surfer played D&D with me once. Never got invited back. We'll leave it at that. No, I'm kidding. Girl Wonder, yeah. Online communities have been a godsend from, yeah. You know, that's the thing, right? Like the folks you hang out with and connect with. Like right now, we have folks from all over the world right now in this chat. I don't know. There's something cool about that. You got no skills. Oh, Philly cheesesteak. Yep. So it's cool that we're all hanging out and building it here, doing it ourselves, right? I'm curious to see where, because I do think social media is going to go through a next stage of evolution. I was thinking about this today, where you may have heard me talk a lot about how my background, you know, I have a master's in political science. I have a master's in policy management. The military sent me to get a lot of education because I'm a strategist, is what I do. So I think a lot. I'm a brain. I'm like the brainy guy in Starship Troopers. I just think, right? That's my job. And I think a lot about governance structures, and I do feel like Moonbeam is like a digital, literal community that is like a town. You have town hall meetings, right? You have constituents, which is interesting because, like, yeah, we're a business, but my brain works as such where I don't see people as customers. I see them more as constituents, where they want to live here. Like, and I think that's interesting for me. That's just my personal opinion. You're living in this community online. I see someone as a constituent where they want services, they want safety, they want maybe to make a living, to make money, all these things, right? And they have a say, versus like a business mindset would be like, oh, that's a customer. They just give me their money. There's a transaction, whatever. But I fundamentally think there's a difference. And I think what happened with social media is their free approach out the gate. So like if you notice out the gate with us, we have Moonstones. We've been pushing a lot of like creators making money. That is not a normal approach for a startup or any type of like social media platform. It's like everything's free and here you go. And that's like the trap is they just get a bunch of people and then they switch the game up. And I think with like social media, what we saw is there was no like sustainable way for those platforms to support themselves other than like using the user, the customer, as like the means to monetize, where they sell your data, they show you a bunch of ads, all that stuff. And when you do that, the incentives change. Now it's not about being a place for a good community. You see it spiral into like the engagement kind of, how do I keep people here all the time? And how do I show them outrageous things? And how do I get them to see more ads? And it becomes like really distorted from its real purpose. And so I think where we're at now, and, you know, I think we're doing it with Moonbeam, but I'll say regardless of whether of our story doing it or not, I do think at this point in time, there's a shift happening in social media where that old way of doing it is not sustainable. It's not healthy for society. It's not healthy for democracies. And it's gonna crack. I think it's gonna come tumbling down. So that's why I think like our approach is maybe part of that next evolution, where you do take a true governance approach to a social media platform with communities, with their involvement. And then you could see here, like, folks since open beta have been buying moonstones. They've been supporting people. That approach is amazing. It's unheard of. Like, people would not have expected that. And what it does is, I think people are willing to contribute to be part of a community that is a community. And the reason why I'm convinced of this is, like, we pay taxes in real life for a community. Like, it's not a bogus idea. It's literally how communities live. Like, we pay taxes to have a public library, to have roads, to have infrastructure, to have safety. And so, I don't know, that just informs a lot of our approach. It informs a lot of my thinking. I'm curious what you all think. I'll look over here at chat. Am I Neil Patrick Harris? Yes, that would be me if in the Starship Trooper universe, I guess. Can we just have, Michael in chat, can we just have a bottom up and top down structure, and both must be taken into account? This is true. Cloud server, to be fair, the early social media platforms, everything was uncharted territory. No one knew what was going to become. Moonbeam's learning from the pitfalls. This is true. I'm not blaming them. I think it's just a matter of fact. It's just a matter. And then, what are you going to do if you're meta? Like, real talk. You're there. You can't really change. You can't pivot. You're just stuck. So that is like they have gotten too big to change. Bob, constituencies. Yeah. Funny fact. When I was 18 years old, I ran for mayor in Pembroke Pines, Florida. So I've always been obsessed with local community and stuff like that. And then I worked for a state rep, and then I joined the Army. I only joined the Army. I was supposed to do 3 years only. I'm like, I'm going to do 3 years. I'm going to see kind of like what's going on. And then here I am. Michael in chat, earliest virtual communities like The Well and Usenet were self-organized and organically evolved. Yeah, communities are, they take time. It's a slow burn. And, it's interesting. Like, it's all that takes time. People got to, and it's funny here, like on Moonbeam, I'm seeing it as well. People talk about streaming. They always, streaming, they always say, oh, it's a community, it's this, that, and the other. But what I've noticed is, like, even on Moonbeam, the folks who engage in the realms, who chat with each other, who build those connections, I lurk on Moonbeam, like, all the time. And when I see folks streaming, I'll go into them and just see who's chatting. And consistently, my observation is the people who are engaging in realms and, like, talking to other people and making a post and, like, just being present, they get people in their streams chatting with them. It is that community. But if you come on a platform and you just like, I'm gonna go live and that's my only interaction, you don't get the same effect. And I do think it's because one group of people are actually participating in the community, and the other is just like popping up on camera and then they go away. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I just think it's interesting to think, how do we make folks understand the importance of talking in a realm and building that network and connection? Let's see here. Klaus, I met me at the 3-year mark. Coincidence? Yeah, you made me. Yeah, would I wanted to get out then? I don't know. I should have probably. Yeah, the internet was back in the day. It was a lot more organic, real. Now it's just like even Google searches, right? Like, everything is like, it's no longer like the wide web. It's just like, I don't know, funnel to us. It's very odd. Hey, Silent Brad, what's up? Welcome. You're an Uber lurker. Hey, there's nothing wrong with lurking. There's nothing wrong. Introversion, extroversion tomorrow. We'll talk about this kind of thing. Yeah, Michael, that's a good thing. I'm gonna say a comment here because this kind of led us to develop Moby. When I lurk, there's this super weird feeling especially if there's like low engagement in a chat for a streamer. There's this really weird pressure and awkwardness for me to chat. And I don't mean that as like Anthony. I mean that as just like I could be anyone, and it's just awkward. I don't know what it is. It's like skills. Take guy drive for Lyft. That's awesome. Yeah, Girl Wonder. That's the thing. Like, I think stuff like Moby will help with that because I've noticed like I do empathize and sympathize with like if you're watching someone and there's no one chatting, it's like to be the first person to chat is just a big hurdle. Moby eliminates that. So I think that's going to be interesting. And I think it's like a psychological thing there. The first person to chat is a big barrier. Moby breaks that barrier down. And I don't know, Skills, you've used Moby. I'm curious what you think from a streamer, because I feel like from the streamer angle, like you can chat and Moby's like there. So you're kind of like chatting if you want and engage versus like if you walk into a stream and the streamer's like dead quiet, that gets even more awkward, right? Like they're just dead quiet. And like now it's really hard for anyone to want to chat. Yeah. Bob, that's the thing. Like people don't feel safe sometimes on other platforms. And I think here they're going to feel that way. Yeah, Moby, he just got put on a little, I don't want to say the back burner because that's not nice to Moby. We love Moby. It really comes down to like Pat is, just he's crushing it with everything. He's like him and the engineering team, JD, Brandon, Aria, they're crushing it every day. Like even this weekend, Pat works week. I told him, to chill out and take some time off. But until we get a bigger team, he is one of the best engineers I know. And he's also the AI machine learning guy. So limited resources. So we're moving in a way where we're putting more on the engineering team, and then we're trying to like peel Pat away. So Pat can do, he's also CEO, right? So it's like, hey, Pat needs to be CEO and he needs to be AI machine learning guy to help develop Pixis out more and Moby. So we're working through all that stuff. But yeah, so Moby will be getting some love in the future. Using extroverted tools to bring people into the fold is key. Providing introverted tools to continue the relationship. Yes, 100%. Oh, that's cool, Girl Wonder. Love that. Yeah, and Moby again. That's the neat thing is I read a lot of like Reddits, and he drinks a lot of coffee, Bob. He drinks a lot of coffee. A lot of like Reddit's threads and subreddits, people were giving advice to new streamers, and it was like, just be chatting. And if you have no viewers, just keep chatting. And they're like, I know it could be demoralizing, but just chat as if someone was there. And I think Moby really fills that void. So it fills a lot of voids. It feels like the void for the streamer because you have fun. It fills the void for the viewer because there's maybe not that awkwardness of being the first. For folks like Girl Wonder, thank you. We need you out there to be the first chatter because then it makes it easier for everybody else. So I think it's a win-win across the board. Yeah. Pat needs some Red Bull. That's for sure. We do have a good team though. He and I, yeah, he's, we're a good team. I think we're a good team. I think, Pat is very engineer. He's what do you think of engineer? Super smart. brainiac, tech guru. Like, and I mean, and I'm not just saying that. Like, you look at what was being built before our eyes with like little budget. And he's just got a knack for that. And he's in his late 20s, so he's a young guy. He is sharp. Don't sleep on him. And we got 1 second. Hey, you going to bed?
Are we done?
Okay, I love you.
Are you streaming?
I am. I'm streaming. You want to wave and then you go upstairs, okay?
Hello.
All right.
Am I
You are.
streaming or?
You are.
Wait, I was streaming again.
You are. Oh, watch out. Okay, pick it up for me. Thank you.
I'm just so scared. I've been on the stream twice.
I know. I'll see you in a little bit, okay? That's my son, Logan. This is my middle.
Bye.
I have Alex is my older and Leah's my youngest. Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Mwah. Thank you. I'll see you later, okay? Okay. But we have Logan.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
I'm just so
We have
scared.
Pat. So Pat's got Moby, he's got Pixie he's developing. But I think what allows me, where I'm the COO and his partner in crime, so to speak. And yeah, I'm reading chat. Yeah, he's going upstairs and having a good time now. Be here with you all, and like it's that good feedback loop. And I think that's where a lot of teams don't have like a rounded out approach where if you're too tech heavy, you miss that kind of like personal touch and connection to folks to really build the thing you're building for them. And so I'm very Moonbeam would not exist without Pat and it would not exist without me. So like we understand it's a team approach. And we're lucky to like have that synergy where tech meets ideas, meets touch point with the community, all that stuff. So it's good. God, I can't right. Yeah, they all want to be. They always hassle me on like when is Moonbeam gonna be on the iPad in the App Store. So I get harassed by my kids about that. They're like, "You need an app." I'm like, "Well, it's on the phone right now." They're like, "Oh, it needs to be on the iPad." I'm like, "Okay, we'll get there." It's like funny to think of how like each generation what they think is like the thing. So for their generation, Gen Alpha, it's an iPad app. That's it. Boom. They have yes, there you go, Girl Wonder. It's like Office Space. I talk to the customers so the engineers don't have to. That kind of that's me. I talk to the people. I have people skills. But it's a good pairing. So I think I got just a few minutes left, and then I'm gonna have to go for the night. But I hope everybody out there has been having a good one. Again, I just wanted to come out here. I like to pop on when I can and say hi to you all. We have our DNA in a cold freezer there, Bob. Don't worry. If anything happens, they'll clone us. So we hope. But yeah, no. I like to use Moonbeam as much as I can as well, just to see the things you all see, the little bugs here and there, and that way we work on them. I have the I want to watch Minecraft on Moonbeam. Yes, yo, for real, Girl Wonder, for real. That's it. Like the moment I show them, when I played Minecraft a few times on Moonbeam and they've seen it, and I'm like their biggest hero is, oh my god, and it's funny because my oldest Alexander, he'll say like, oh, my dad's a YouTuber. I'm like, oh god, that's hilarious. Which is funny because like I could be in my army uniform and be a soldier, and they're like, whatever, you're a YouTuber. That's more awesome. Or you got a Moonbeam. Like it's funny how that whole generation is. It's interesting to think like because I've noticed when I was growing up, like an athlete or a movie actor was a big deal, or a musician, and you're seeing it with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, like a YouTuber, an influencer, a TikToker, like that's the big deal. No longer is it like I want to be a basketball player. It's like I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a TikToker. And it's funny because the data shows that. Again, 58% of Gen Z, their number one career choice is influencer. That is a fact. 58%. 40% would actually pay to be an influencer. That's wild. Like I mean, I guess we pay to become like a lawyer. You go to school. I guess you got to pay for that, right? But to think that like folks like that generation wants to pay, is interesting. It shows you the need, and that's like what they want. So it's kind of interesting. The different dynamics between generations. I think growing up, for me, so I'm 39, so I'm a millennial. What was like? What did I want to be? I don't know. Being a movie star was cool, right? Gen X is called was called wanting to be a web celeb. Was that really a thing? Web celeb? First time I watched Red vs. Blue, I knew what I wanted to do. Interesting. It's because I haven't seen that. What is that? Red vs. Blue. Red vs. Blue. Is that like a... Oh, that's the Rooster Teeth. Dang. Is that it? The web series? Back in the day? Nice. Nice. I used to like watch Robot Chicken back in the day. Early YouTube stuff. I used to watch... There's some good stuff on YouTube. Good stuff. Halo. Oh, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, they have Master Chief on it. Yep. Yep. Got it. Makes sense. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go play some Dota 2. Just about done with my old fashioned. I hope you all like this. I might do this again. This is kind of cool and chill. Thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. We got a lot of stuff in the works. And again, Pat's been working and we're all working and fun stuff's going to happen. Robot Chicken was pre-YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, Bob. You ain't lying about that. It's that we can go into a whole other thing about influencer now being a thing. So, all right. Well, you all take care. I'm out. Boom. I'll see you later. And let's have a great week and enjoy the rest of your weekend while we still have it. I'll see y'all later. Later. Bum, bum, ba-doom, dum, ba.